So at the start of your driving test and you're in the test centre and the examiner's saying to you, right, okay then, we've had a chat, test's going to last 35, 40 minutes, and they say to you, start the engine when you're ready and off you go. Sometimes you don't get a manoeuvre in the test centre, sometimes there's not a test centre car park there. So you have a look round, you do your 5-point check, make sure there's nothing behind you. If there's a junction behind you like there is here, then a signal's probably a wise thing in case someone comes around the corner as you're moving off. Check your right shoulder, and then there's no rush. And that's what you've got to remember. It's not a rush to pull off fast. And then get that gear sorted. Don't keep in a low gear, because if you're moving along and you don't go up a gear, then you're going to get a gear fault for holding back. And they say nothing to you, it's follow the road ahead, which is what they say at the beginning. So checking, so right, it's definitely clear, checking your mirrors, keeping to your side of the road. As you go past the exit before, centre mirror, left mirror, signalling. So you're keeping things simple in the first 5 minutes. You're not trying to complicate things. You keep it nice and neat, you're keeping it in your lane. You're not trying to show off. A little bit more gas, back to third gear, so you're building speed up. Don't worry about a pigeon. If you start braking for a pigeon on the road or you start swerving for them, don't be surprised if you're going to get a fault. Pigeons will fly out of the way 9 times out of 10. That 10th time, they're going to go to heaven. Okay, so nothing's happening. A nice easy road. It's important to keep focused. Check your mirrors, keep your eye on your speed, know the speed limit. We've got a first warning sign of a speed bump, so we're checking our mirrors and we're going to let the car start slowing down naturally, because the hill's going to help you. You don't need to brake hard. Drop into second gear, making it easier. 10-mile-an-hour speed bump. We're going to do a left turning test here. Centre mirror left, signalling straight afterwards. Get it done. And it's going to go downhill, so as I'm turning, I'm checking what's going on. So I'm off the gas, covering the brake, taking my time. We're coming to a bigger roundabout. We're going to do a right turn, third exit is there. Centre mirror right, signalling, braking for the hill, keeping it in second, checking to the right, checking my mirror behind me, checking to my right again. I'm on the gas to go. Keeping it simple all the time. Checking what's going on, exit before, centre mirror left, signalling to come off. Then building my speed up, back to third gear. They don't say anything, so it's follow the road ahead again. Checking my mirrors, slowing myself down from third gear, slowing down for second on the approach. Checking what's happening on the right, looks quite busy. Middle lane, see the arrows on the ground, making it easier. Checking to my right, there's a blue car coming through, so I'm slowing down, not taking a risk, popping into first while I'm waiting. Off the brake, gas and biting point, and I'm off. Back to second gear, don't hold back on the gears. Centre mirror left, signalling. These are the things that should be running through your mind. Third gear at this point if you can. If you can't, do it after the bend. Building my speed up. Fourth gear, I'm on a national speed limit, 60-mile-an-hour road. Keeping me 2-second gap from the car in front of me, or the lorry in this case. I'm doing 45, 50, 52 miles an hour. Checking what's going on. Examiner says to me, oh, a left turn at the roundabout. Centre mirror, left, signalling, checking my mirrors, slowing down, keeping the gap from the truck in front of me. Looking what's going on, drop into third gear, because it's clear I'm going to keep in third. The truck's slowing down, so I'm slowing down for second, keeping my foot on the clutch, straight into first. Checking what's going on, the car's on my right, nice gap showing up, and I'm off. Signal back on, because it came off, important. Then check and cancel. If you've got the opportunity, reset your signal as you're entering. Into third gear. I'm not holding back. Checking my mirrors. Fourth gear. Keeping me 2-second gap from the truck in front of me. So you can only go as fast as what's in front of you. So it's a national speed limit road. I'm doing 40 because that truck's doing 40. There's no way I can overtake, it's too dangerous. So sometimes you've got to sit back. Checking what's happening on the right and left. That taxi's keen. The white taxi behind me. Check the rear view mirror, you see him pulling out. We're going to do a right turn into a different area. And the thing is, this is what's running through your mind all the time. Always give yourself things to do. Because if the examiner's saying nothing to you, then there's things to do, like check your mirrors, check your speeds, check your gears. So right turn coming up, there it is, there's a white sign telling me, it says Woolstones, centre mirror right, signalling, telling everyone behind me, going to slow down in that middle lane, so I'm just covering the brake as I'm going in, heavier on the brake to get that speed under control. I don't want to slow down in the left lane then, drop into second gear, popping it into first, waiting for that car who's coming fast, not taking the risk, there's a nice big gap behind him. Now get ready for this gap, gas, biting point, not cutting the corner. I've already checked the road and going in. And this is what's running through your mind. I'm in a 30 zone. I'm in a bit of a countryside estate. Speed bumps, checking my mirrors. And the examiner says to me, I want you to do a park on the right manoeuvre, then reverse back 2 car lengths when it's safe to do so, and then rejoin the left when it's safe to do so. So I'm going around this car here. It's not safe to do a park on the right just yet because there's a bit of a right bend. Back to my side, looking at the road, checking a safe spot, trying to find one. There's a spot before that truck, checking my mirrors, signalling, coming across nice and early, getting myself parallel to the right, checking what's going on, slowing myself down, clutching it, going past that junction there and stopping. Give yourself space for the cars to get through. Don't block the cars with the car opposite. Pop it into reverse, cancel the signal, check over your blind spots, reverse back slowly, checking the curb, you're not going to clip it. If you're going to clip the curb, you might have to do a correction, you might have to go forward. Looking behind me, there's 1.5, there's 2 car lengths. Now, quite important, I'm going to rejoin the left. What I'm not going to do is go forward and rejoin the left after that black car on the left. I'm going to rejoin the left before the black car and then go around it. That's a safe thing to do. So I'm checking. I'm going to show signal, checking my blind spot, bring myself across, and then looking to go round and carrying on. Now I've been doing this now for 7 or 8 minutes. I'm going to pull over on the left where it's convenient and safe. Centre mirror left, in between the driveways, braking, get myself lined up, lowering the clutch so I don't stall. Checking that left mirror, I'm tucked in by about that much. Perfect. If I'm like that, you're too wide, you're going to get a fault. Back into first gear, because the thing is, what they're going to say to you is when you pull over, and as soon as you're stopping, they're going to say, off you go when you're ready. So you're not ready. Handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. Now I'm into first gear. Have a look round. Do my 5-point check again. If I'm not too sure, recheck again. I'm going to show signal again because I'm not taking any chances. And then it's check and cancel. They can't fail you for signalling when you're moving off, as long as you cancel it afterwards. Back into first gear, checking my right mirror, giving the door's width. Don't get too close to the parked car. If you get too close, it's a clearance fault. So if in doubt, signal to pull over. If in doubt, signal to move off. They're not going to fail you for signalling, all right? Because you don't need to signal if no one's around. But if you don't signal and suddenly someone turns up, then it should have been a signal, then you're going to get a fault. And don't be surprised if they say to you, pull up on the left again. Checking my mirrors, there's this taxi, signalling, braking, clutching, slowing down. Because I just after a bend, as I check my mirrors, the taxi was behind me. Handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. Off you go again, this there. Looking around. This time I can see clearly, but I'm still going to show a signal because there's a junction on the right. And if I pull off and a car turns up at the same time, they need to know I'm pulling off. Cancel that signal, check in second gear. And constantly buzzing, keeping your mind active, looking ahead, speed bump, white van and a right bend. Checking my mirrors, looking beyond the bend. Oh, a little bit of a tricky bit ahead of us. We've got a left bend where there's a camper van and a car afterwards, making it hard to see. Now I'm going to slow down because if I go around that fast, it's going to be dangerous. And a white parcel van coming my way, so I'm dropping from third to second. I'm slowing down for this bend, difficult to see. I'm slowing down a little bit more, looking ahead, and then I'm off. If I went round there in 15-20 mile an hour in second or third gear, possibly asking for a dangerous fault because you can't see what's coming. And if a car's coming the other way, it would definitely be a dangerous fault because you'd be slamming your brakes on. Back to third gear, checking my mirrors. Everything's going fine. Keeping to my side road on a bend, don't cut the corner. Oh, speed bump, checking my mirrors, slowing down for second gear. and got a right turn coming up. Centre mirror right, signalling now. It's a bit of a left bend, so I've got to be careful, nothing's coming in. Braking, covering the clutch just in case I have to stop. Checking, and going. And I got my speed right down then because it was a dangerous left bend on a right turn on it. So remember, if it looks dangerous or looks dodgy, it's probably going to be trickier. So be careful. Pulling over on the left where it's convenient and safe. Well, I can't pull over opposite a bus stop. I'm not going to pull over on the left next to this bit here, but I will pull over just there. Centre mirror left, signalling, bringing myself in, clutching it, and then securing again, handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. So that's just 10 minutes of driving around, of me driving as though you're on the driving test. And that's what you've got to say to yourself is, I can't take risk. I've got to keep an eye on my speeds, got to keep an eye on everything, got to tick all them boxes. Good luck on the driving test. I hope this quick video on how you would drive on your driving test will help you. Take care.